What's up, Tech Gang? Stefan here from TechRight. Today I'm going to be doing the unboxing and first impressions of the LG Stylo 6. Didn't think this phone was going to be coming, but it did, so stay tuned. Alright everyone, so we have the Stylo 6 in the house. This is a long-awaited device. Hopefully it's going to be better than the LG Stylo 5. Obviously, I'm going to do tons of videos on this device, so definitely turn on the notification bells while subscribing so you can stay tuned for more videos about this device. Now, first and foremost, I want to talk about the price. Now, this is only available at Boost Mobile at this moment in time. It's probably going to be available for Metro by T-Mobile and Cricket Wireless later on. That's usually what happens with these devices. You know, they'll go out into circulation for one of these prepaid carriers, and then they'll be on the rest of the carriers a month or two later. So that's probably what we're going to see here. So anybody that's worried that they're not going to get it at Metro or Cricket Wireless, we're most likely going to get this device. So on Boost Mobile's website, I purchased this device. It was $179, but you guys can actually get 20% off of this phone, which is a whole $36. So you're almost saving $40 when you use the code Memorial20. So I'll put a link in the comment section down below as well as the description so you guys can get a whole $40 off this device. Definitely save you guys some money, especially during this time. So this device was $144. After tax, it was a tiny bit more, but we have the LG Stylo 6 here. Now, this features a 6.8-inch Full HD Plus, so that's going to be a 1080p display with the Stylus. Something that I actually noticed just now about the Stylus is you can pop it out. I got a comment about someone saying you could pop it back in and out like the Note 10. And this device is going to be able to do that, so that's really, really cool. Next, we have 13 megapixel main with a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera and a 5 megapixel depth camera. So we're going to have a triple camera setup on this device. We're also going to have a 13 megapixel front facing camera, 3 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of internal storage, 4,000 milliamp battery with fast charging. So the specifications are there, especially for the $145 price tag. Without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this and see how good it actually is. All right, so we have the device right here. Let's go ahead and open this up. Go ahead and take the back off. All right, so we have the device box. Inside of that box, you guys know how Boost Mobile boxes go. So first and foremost, we have the phone, which looks really, really sexy. Wow, that looks really nice actually. Huge phone right here, 6.8 inches. We're gonna go ahead and put this to the side though. Next thing we have in here is our safety information as well as our warranty. Next we have our SIM ejector tool. Next we have the fast charger for this device, so that's cool, it comes with that. And our USB Type-C data cable. So that's all that's in the box. All right, everyone, so this is the device. I'm going to do a little tour of the device for you guys right now, but first and foremost, I just want to show you how big this device is next to the old LG Stylo 5. Now, a lot of you actually thought the Stylo 5 was a pretty big phone, and honestly, at 6.2 inches, it is a pretty big phone. But this is 6.8 inches, and you guys can definitely see the difference. This is a lot more of a longer phone, so you're getting a taller phone right here. And honestly, side by side, just looking at both these screens, I feel like the LG Stylo 6 screen does look a bit better. So just gonna go ahead and get that out of the way. Full comparison coming through with that. But let's continue with the tour of the Stylo 6. So first and foremost, definitely reminiscent of the LG V20 if you guys remember that device. This looks very, very similar to that device, and I feel like they refreshed it with this. But I feel like this is a really, really nice looking phone, especially for 2020 and being a $145 phone. We didn't see devices like these before, but now we're seeing them at cheaper prices. So first and foremost, obviously we have the LG emblem down there. So taking a look at the top right here, we have the cameras, triple camera setup. We have the 13 megapixel and 2 5 megapixel cameras. And to the right of that, we actually have our LED flash. Just below that, we do have our fingerprint sensor. So we're not going to have any in-screen fingerprint sensors. That would be really cool, but I honestly don't think we need it on this device, especially for how cheap it is. Right side of the device, we have our power button. Left side of the device, we have our space volume up and down button. Just below that, we actually have a Google Assistant launch key right here. I just pressed it, and that pretty much takes you to Google Assistant. And we have our SIM tray below that. Now with the SIM tray, you can actually expand your storage via micro SD card up to 2 terabytes. I don't know who's gonna do that much memory, but if you guys want more memory, go ahead and pop a SD card inside of there. And also 64 gigabytes of internal storage is in this device, so we have some decent storage on here as well. Bottom of the device, we have our headphone jack right there, so that's great, it comes with that. We have our noise canceling mic. In the middle, we have our USB Type-C port. Right side, we have the speaker, and arguably the most important thing about this phone, we have the stylus all the way to the right there. This feels like a good stylus, and it's finally clickable, so that's great to see. Thank you, LG, for listening. I feel like this device is gonna do much better just because it has this clicker in here. And all you have to do is put the stylus away by clicking it in now. So that's really, really cool. Also, top of the device, we have our noise canceling mic. Next thing we have on this phone is at the top, we do have our headset. And just below that, we have our camera right here. This is gonna be our little half circle notch, and that is gonna be a 13 megapixel front facing camera. And we're gonna test those out in this video as well. So definitely stay tuned. But this is our device that we have. This is the LG Stylo 6. This is an extremely rectangle phone. Honestly, still feels surprisingly comfortable in my hand. Other than that, 6.8 inches, we have almost a 7-inch phone right here. So if you guys are looking for a phablet, this is the direction where you should be looking. LG Stylo 6. Now, obviously, we have some bloatware applications on this device, such as MyBoost and Amazon, but we're also packing Android 10.0. We have 3 gigabytes of RAM inside of here, 64 gigabytes of internal storage. I just want to go ahead and check out the drop-down bar menu, see if we have anything new right here. So it looks like we have screenshots, so that's cool to see. We have airplane mode, DTS-X 3D surround sound audio. That's something you guys are going to be using later on. Very, very nice feature right there. We also have NFC in this device, so that's very, very cool. Now, as far as the feel of the device and my first impressions, this device isn't made out of premium materials, but for some reason, it feels like the sides are metal. It feels like the back is glass. Honestly, I would much rather have these materials because they last much longer than glass and other, materials like that break easily. So that's cool. But this doesn't feel like a cheap device. This definitely doesn't feel like a cheap device. Obviously, we have the huge screen right here. The screen looks better, like I said, looks better than the LG Stylo 5. It looks really nice. The colors and the saturation looks very decent on this device, especially for $145. Like it's crazy how far we've come in the budget community. Obviously, we have our dialer right here. We have our text messages right here. I just want to show the emojis really quick because a lot of people like to see those on each LG device. So these are the emojis that we're gonna have on this device. I know a lot of people like these emojis, so just want to go ahead and show that real quick. And something else I wanted to check out was the camera. So let's go ahead and see how decent that is. So going into the camera, we have our ultra wide mode, as you guys see right there. On video, photo, we also have our artificial intelligence camera. We have more, so we have flash jump cut, YouTube live straight from the camera, panorama. We also have photo, obviously. We also have portrait mode, so that's nice to see as well. Another cool thing that you can utilize in the camera application is this Google Lens right here. So if you point it at a product, let's go ahead and use this real quick. Let's go ahead and point this at this product. Go ahead and point, search it up. It's going to pretty much show you where the product's from. Obviously not entirely accurate sometimes, but you guys can go ahead and utilize that in the camera section. So let's go ahead and take a selfie real quick, see how this looks. All right, everyone, so we took a front-facing photo right here. We also took a portrait mode. The portrait mode looks decent. I see it does have some minor edge detection problems. This is not going to be the best camera in the world, but for $140, this is definitely decent. But the Stylo 5 camera is essentially the same as the Stylo 6. Obviously, we'll do a comparison later on to see if that's actually true. But in my testing right here, it looks like this is going to be the same camera that we saw in the Stylo 5. So hopefully that's not the case. But in good lighting, as you guys can see, we have some decent samples, but you guys do see it does have trouble with my hair just because it's that white color. So the edge detection isn't entirely accurate. But they're definitely getting better. I knew the Stylo 4 and the Stylo 5, which was worse than this. So a little bit better in that area, but other than that, not too much has changed. But let's go ahead and check out the rear-facing cameras. So as far as the rear-facing camera, these are the photos you can pretty much expect on here. Not the greatest, as you guys see, the colors are a bit washed out. but the saturation is definitely not as good as the Galaxy A20 or A series devices. Definitely suffering a bit, but for $140, this is definitely decent. Obviously, I'm going to be doing gaming on this later on and a ton of other videos on this device. But what do you guys think so far about the LG Stylo 6? This is a very, very fairly priced device as far as what we get inside of the device. And we do have some great things such as NFC, a 4,000 milliamp battery, 3 gigabytes of RAM. I would have wanted 4, honestly, but we'll see how this phone performs. So yeah, first impressions, if you guys want to purchase the device, I definitely give it the okay. Obviously wait for the full review as well, but so far for $145, this is a very decent price. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like down below as well as subscribing if you're not part of the Tech Gang already. Also turn on that notification bell to see every video that I upload. This has been Savon from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.